Sup, fellas? Remember last week when we made a sugarcane farm together? Yeah, I bet you remember that. It was a pretty damn good video, if I do say so myself. Anyway, if you remember correctly, I said in that video that on Thursday of next week, I would make a video about big sugarcane farms for those who don't like tiny ones that use bone meal. Well, you know what today is, guys. Thursday. You know what that means? It means we got a giant sugarcane farm. Let's go take a look. If we come zoom on over here, I had to move it to a brand new area of this experimentation world because it's a little big. This farm will produce 73 sugarcane an hour. Now you might be thinking, well, that's not very great. You're right, no, it isn't. But if we just go ahead and look this way real quick and then spin around, voila! Now there's 3 of them. They are all stacked perfectly, and now you will make 292 sugarcane per hour. Now you might be thinking, well, Mr. Game and Aquatic, that's still not too great. No, it might not be. You can stack this as high as you would like, though. So, I mean, you could get it to a point where you're making over 500 sugarcane an hour, but realistically, if you have a mob farm, I still recommend the mini sugarcane farm. It will definitely still outproduce that in less than 5 minutes. And, I mean, if you have a source of bones, why not, you know? I will link the video to that small sugarcane farm behind me, right here, in the description below, if you've changed your mind and want to build that one now. But if you still want to build this one, I'm going to show you how it works. So, as you can see, there are slime block launchers and everything set up. If we go ahead and up our game tick speed to 100, they will just start getting pumped out, breaking off the sugarcane as it grows. Now, the slime blocks are a bit peculiar. Usually you will see people with a lot of observers and pistons. These have a very small number of pistons used and a relatively large number of slime blocks used. The entire thing has to be built out of a block that the slime blocks won't stick to. So glazed terracotta should work, leaves work, obsidian works. If you want to use bedrock and you're building this in creative, that works. Now, the redstone itself is relatively simple, so I am using bamboo as the kind of source for the redstone outputs here. Now, you might be thinking, well, why don't you just use sugarcane? Because then it grows at the same rate. Well, there's an issue with that. Sugarcane tends to grow very slowly, so by using just sugarcane back there, sometimes these stalks up here in the farm will grow to 3 blocks tall. Now, because the slime blocks are only, 1 block, that will mean you end up losing sugarcane. Since bamboo grows much quicker than sugarcane does, by having bamboo back here, the redstone will activate more frequently, meaning you will get more sugarcane out of the farm because there won't be any 3 tall plants where you're losing some on the grass blocks. We have a simple repeater output coming out of the observer where it clicks and then it locks the repeater so that this piston can't just create a clock. After that, the redstone runs into the 2 pistons at the bottom on either side, and from those pistons, should you choose to stack the farm, it is just a redstone torch tower to access every single piston. Now you will notice that there is this one point on the 3rd layer where the redstone in the redstone torch tower is a little weird. That's because I accidentally built it a little wrong. It was supposed to be a block higher, but I kind of messed up. But normally that wouldn't be an issue. You would just continue stacking it, and it would be the exact same pattern all the way up. Honestly, the hardest part of the redstone is probably just installing this little thing. And that's just 2 repeaters, so I mean, it is incredibly easy. It is so simple to build, and in terms of storage, you can do anything you would like. I have just got 3 chests and 3 hoppers. Now, if you are still persistent to build this farm instead of the little one over there, there will be a materials list down in the description below containing every item I have used to build just 1 layer of this farm. Let's get into the tutorial. Alright guys, so the first thing you're going to want to do when it comes to building your sugarcane farm is make the channel for the water to go into. This is going to be a 3-block wide channel, and we are going to make it 2 individual layers. The first layer is going to be 7 blocks long. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Don't forget to add those 7 blocks to the other side. And then the second part is going to be 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now, if you were to put a back onto this, and you add your 3 water sources, your water should flow perfectly to the end. Now we're going to remove 3 more blocks at the end of that water stream, make that 2 deep, and this is where your double chests are going to go, and the 3 hoppers going into them. The sugarcane will get pushed into this water stream, and all your items will end up in these hoppers. Next up, we can just go ahead and put in the sugarcane so we know where we are placing our other blocks. Just place your sugarcane along those 15 blocks right next to the water on both sides. Now that the water and sugarcane is in, what we can do is install the glass pane barrier in the middle. What we're going to do is grab our solid blocks. We are going to go to that middle hopper, and we are going to go up by 3 blocks. Now what we're going to do is place a glass pane right next to that top 3rd block, and then we can remove those 3 blocks. What we're going to do is place another glass pane on top of that first one, and now we can extend this all the way down along with our sugarcane. Now once you get to the point where your sugarcane goes up a block, you can just place 3 glass panes like so, kind of creating this little corner, and then carry this all the way down to the end of your farm. Okay, now that the glass panes are in, it is time to put in the pistons and the slime blocks. So what we're going to do is take our leaves, and we are going to stack them 2 blocks tall behind the elevated block of sugarcane, like so. And then once we get behind the sugarcane on ground level, it'll just be 1 high. Now you technically don't have to do too tall here, you could leave the bottom ones out, but I think it just looks better with them there. Next up, we can install all of our slime blocks just on top of the leaves that we previously placed in line with our sugarcane. Now what we're going to do is go to the far left slime block on each side. We can remove it, place a temporary block like so, place in our sticky piston, remove it, and put our slime block back. We can do the same thing down here on this layer, and for the 2 pistons on the other side. Alright, now that all of your slime blocks and sticky pistons are in, we can go ahead and add the leaf backing to the farm. All we do is fill in leaves as tall as our glass panes and as wide as up to where you can see the slime blocks. Basically, just cover from sugarcane to sugarcane and then all the way up. Okay, now it's time for the bamboo observer settings. So what I'm going to do is place a piece of bamboo in the center behind that wall. I'm going to place a temporary block right above it, an observer facing into that temporary block. You can remove that temporary block. Add a piston to the right of that observer, facing towards that bamboo, so when it extends, it breaks it, just like so. Now we're going to place a solid block behind that observer, 1 block down, place a redstone dust on top of it. Then what we're going to do is put solid blocks in these locations like so, so you should have 6 solid blocks total. You can place redstone dust on top of these blocks like so, place a repeater here on 2 ticks, and a repeater here on 1 tick. You can add solid blocks coming out of that repeater there with redstone dust on top like so. We can place a solid block right there in that corner with redstone dust on top. Now we can place 2 solid blocks next to your slime block and sticky piston on both sides, and put redstone dust on top of those. You can place a solid block here with redstone dust on top, and now the right hand side sticky piston and slime blocks are all connected. Then we can place redstone dust on top of the observer, a solid block here breaking the connection between the observer output and the redstone dust above it. Connect these 2 bits of redstone going into that piston with 4 solid blocks in these locations and 4 redstone dust on top of them. Now the pistons on both the right and left side of your sugarcane farm are connected. We have to connect the 2 on the lower level. What you're going to do is skip the block under your sticky piston and then place a solid block line all the way down to the next sticky piston. You can add redstone dust on top of that sticky piston, behind it, add a repeater, and then redstone dust all the way down till it is on top of the second sticky piston in that line, just like so. Now on the other side, we will once again place our solid blocks from sticky piston to sticky piston, just like so. Redstone dust on top of the first sticky piston and to the left of it. Redstone repeater, and then 5 redstone dust all the way down until it is on top of the second sticky piston. That is our redstone all done. We can place leaf blocks on top of all of our slime blocks now. Now that all of our leaf blocks are in, your farm is technically done. You don't have to install a roof. I do recommend it. I think it looks a lot more interesting. Plus it helps contain the sugarcane because sometimes it just gets shot straight up. And now that the roof of leaves is on top of your sugarcane farm, it is fully operational. Just to show you it working completely, I'm going to up my random tick speed to 100. As we can see, the sugarcane is starting to grow, and because the bamboo is growing in back, the sticky pistons are getting activated and the slime blocks are breaking the sugarcane. All the sugarcane is being collected in the hoppers at the end of the water stream. And if we look in back, you can see the repeater system working perfectly. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed your sugarcane farms. If you've made it to the end of the video, thank you for watching. I just want you to know it does mean a lot to me that you guys watch these videos. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing. It means the world to me to see that subscriber count go up. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. This has been Mr. Gaming Aquatic, and I will see you next time. Bye!